Hi there, I'm Larissa from ELCUS, which stands for English Resource Lab, keeping it simple. In today's video, I want to talk about two words that we use for both compare and contrast. And the words are but and whereas. John likes sugar, but I prefer savoury. Judy loves winter, but Sylvia loves summer. Do we say but or whereas? Well, if you think that but sounds okay, we need to say whereas in both of these sentences. John likes sugar, whereas I prefer savoury. Judy loves winter, whereas Sylvia loves summer. And why do we say this? Because we use the word but, which is a conjunction, when we want to contrast parts or elements of the same thing. So the subject in our sentence is the thing that we are contrasting. We use but for contrasting rather than comparing. Why don't we have a look at the following 5 sentences to see how it works. Chocolate is delicious, but it is fattening. Waterfalls are beautiful, but they can be dangerous. The butter melted, but it is still spreadable. The Alps are gorgeous, but they can be cold in winter. Our puppy dog drives us crazy, but we still adore him. Not only can we just say but in these sentences, we can actually reduce these sentences. We can, what we call, create an ellipsis. So we can actually even remove parts of the sentence. Let's have a look at these sentences again, but a shorter version of each one. Chocolate is delicious, but fattening. Waterfalls are beautiful, but dangerous. The butter melted, but still spreadable. The Alps are gorgeous, but cold in winter. So in each one of these sentences, you can see the words that we've moved, that we've left out. We don't necessarily need the whole sentence because we know that we're talking about the same subject. So we don't need to repeat it. We don't need the pronouns. Now let's have a look at whereas. Bradley eats kale, whereas Jessica eats spinach. Sarah gets paid monthly, whereas Jenny gets paid weekly. We love watching comedy, whereas they prefer science fiction. My right arm was sunburnt, whereas my left arm wasn't. So here we're using whereas because the subject is different. In these sentences, we're not contrasting elements of the same thing. We are now comparing two different things. In the first sentence, we're comparing Bradley to Jessica. In the second sentence, we are comparing Sarah to Jenny. In the third, we are comparing us and what we love watching to them and what they like watching. And in the next sentence, I'm comparing my right arm to my left arm. Why don't we see how whereas and but actually work side by side in more than just one sentence? Why don't we have a look at these two sentences and see how they work? It is often thought that a mortgage is expensive, whereas renting is cheaper. This may be correct in some cases, but not all. So in the first sentence, we are using whereas because we're comparing a mortgage to renting. So we're comparing two different things. In the second sentence, we can see that we are now not comparing, but we are contrasting. What are we contrasting? We're contrasting the word cases, in some cases, but not all. All is a different part of the word cases. Some cases, all cases. So, in a nutshell, as a bit of a summary, we know that but is used to contrast parts of the same thing, the same subject. Whereas we are comparing. We are comparing at least two things, two different things. Let's have a look at this quiz. Here are some sentences. What do you put in? Do you put in but or whereas? Let's have a look at the first one. I love the red car. The blue one is cheaper. Tick, 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 tick. Now, if you said but instead of whereas, you are correct. Yes, in a sense, we are comparing a red car to a blue car, but we are still talking about a car. So we're looking at the differences, the contrasts between the two. So it's still a car. One is red, one is blue. Mario speaks 3 languages. Bruno speaks 1. Tick, 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 tick. Yes, did you say whereas? If you did, correct, fantastic. Because we are now comparing Mario to Bruno, 2 different people. So we're not comparing languages, we're comparing 2 different people. Let's look at the last sentence. My right eye was twitching. My left eye was watering. Tick, 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 tick. Yes, if you said whereas again, you are correct. Even though we're talking about me, we are actually comparing my right eye to my left eye. They are 2 different eyes. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely hit subscribe and the bell, because I'm creating videos on a regular basis. On that note, thanks for watching. I'm Larissa. Bye for now.